I mean, it was Nisa that kind of reverted to fighting fire with fire in maps 2 and 3 of that Shakalaka series. Map 1, I think Heretics were completely caught off guard by just the sheer pace at which Shakalaka were able to operate, and I think Ballista plays into all of those kind of trends as well, Lauren. So again, actually underway with the pistol round here. The Ballista actually, and again, this is no surprise, moving as 5. They're ready to explode into. Okay, yeah.
Lovely work from Lol though. Quick little wall goes up, but again, it's unrelenting aggression. They will not fall back from this. I just hopefully get some game sound going for you guys. Nice and loud. There we go. Got that going. Nuki's going on an information, little fact-finding mission, and I like this. They're going to try and kind of corner in the attacking side, which will be, of course, Ballista, and Heretics will be on the defensive side. Now, the thing is, this is a really kind of classic play. You take space. Now, let's say you get a little bit of, kickback from the opposition. Hold. See if you can find anyone getting a little over-aggressive. So if they manage to catch Nuki, it's valuable, but the timing could be atrocious. Look at this. No. Nuki might have just threaded the needle so perfectly here, and he has. They have no idea that he is going to have the perfect positioning on this, and they know everything that's coming their way. Lau's going to die? They had every bit of info on that, and somehow it's gone terribly wrong.
Spike down, B.
Spike will fall, but right now, Heretics actually, the 2 members. Ballista's still 3 strong, and they've got a little bit of control. Actually, Rabino trying to backpedal all the way back towards spawn. But actually, Spike making his way all the way back over towards A site. 20 seconds
Great read.
left on the clock here. Yeah, and Avova seems to have a decent idea.
Really good read from Avova. He's given himself a chance, and it's a slender one at the very most. However, going to take a quick lamps position. The molly a little further ahead. He's got one. The second evades, but look. Welcome to playing Ballista. They are fast, they are explosive, they are pacey, they are hard to deal with. And honestly, with Lol's positioning being what it was, I thought they would have instantly such an advantage in that round.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Nuki literally, you even pointed out the timing there, Morphin coming all the way back over to Fountain. Nuki actually comes across and tries to challenge into Hooker. But I mean, right there, all that pressure, and they still don't give up the spike. The spike makes its way back over towards A. Take no risks whatsoever. They don't want to force the issue onto B site here. They're going to try and pass themselves off. And this is a typical look. We saw this in the Shakalaka series. I know we talked about this before as well. Pora, notice how he's going to play Anki. He's got a deep cam. He's actually going to rotate back over towards stacking A.
And the check marks for this will be the cleanness of this round. It should go Ballista's way. They have every advantage in this. A couple of flashes committed just to secure that plant, and a nice little spam through the smoke just as that wall crumbles. So this is extremely well considered thus far. Lol does well though to find one. And that's another little tick in the box for Heretics. Okay, bit of damage being done. Can we now pressure this? Can we get some more guns away? Can we do some work? That's the next thing you got to keep your eyes on here. For now, you can see the spike being toyed with. Now that might get towards halfway. They're sitting this one, and the diffuser does go down. Trades are there. Heretics have made this costly, though.
Comes down to a 2v1. Nuki, he has the master to deal with. Going to try and grab a Spectre. But again, it's economy damage at this point. Unless he can find this last kill. Actually, it's just going to tick down to the last possible opportunity for him to get that defuse. Reme will actually close it out. So, again, 4 deaths on the side of Ballista. Heretics absolutely doing damage there. We'll see what the purchase coming back in will look like.
Yeah, and I think the point we're discussing when it comes up with the likes of what Shakalaka were doing, they're a Polish team. They play to that Polish style we've been seeing become very commonplace and very effective against a lot of teams. And you saw Heretics being pushed in a manner that most of us didn't expect. So it definitely stood out to us, and Nisa was their leveraging factor. He was able to put up so many numbers for them, just a huge performance that just counterbalanced it. And I don't have much time to make a point because these guys play fast and they are quick to the... Look at this! Pure aggression, pure confidence in Bad EG. That name just seems so right with him. Pushing forward to the ult, gets the information, should allow for the spike plant. This is gorgeous work from Ballista. This is Phoenix in fine form, and I'm happy to be seeing it in Europe.
Take flight.
Finally seeing it in Europe, Lauren. There's now Ballista at 5. Will reset back and hold on to this in the post plant, but Heretics still 4 strong. Again, that clock is ticking right now. Yuki going to try and tap the defuse. That's going to be... How did he get that kill? Lowell and Poor actually going to trade back up. They're going to invest a res as well.
Ballista are madly aggressive. They are fighting the post plant. Something that was brought up before that I'll touch on as Karemi is still trying to isolate the fights. He loses them eventually. Down he goes. Diffuse should be well timed. But again, if you watch Plat Chat, I know a lot of the people out there do. Shout out to Sideshow and all the gang. They put some brilliant content out there. Something that was very, very obvious with Ballista, they're hyper-aggressive even in post-plants. Hyper-aggressive even in post-plant scenarios where traditionally you might sit in more of a passive crossfire. No, these guys will take fights. They will force so many scenarios upon you, and you just saw it there. Even they had so many players, they didn't play a traditional post-plant. They pushed in towards it. They played through the wall. I'm scared to deal with this. Now, of course, it does cost them the round here. So you finally have Heretics answering back a very competent retake for themselves, not allowing that disruptive playstyle to push them off. But now Sheriffs, a couple of bits and pieces, nothing too much to worry about technically.
Problem though with, let's see, stack up. This time around, Lowell does actually catch a headshot there from long. He's got to be careful. We'll pop the heal, but it's only going to get him back about half HP, and QXV comes through and will find that kill. We convert it. BallyG upgrades. QXV finds a second. Nuki falls. This is just pistols here.
Ow! How have they been able to isolate so many fights? Great utility usage, extremely explosive with those flashes coming out from Phoenix. Spike now planted, the site is theirs. They can just create these corners. They leave Rubino unchecked. Now he will find Kareme and now instantly look towards long, but there's plenty of problems on the site, BallyG being one of them. Still a flash to play with, Wall as well. He's got options if he needs and knows there's one there. He doesn't go to the flash, he knows Omen's around, but now vision removed, swung on, trade comes out. Great work from Avova. Not gonna let that one slip. Now this post plant. They've got a Sheriff still in, and actually that contact being taken by the rifle, leaving Rubino left in the 1v1, and the sound. He knows he's done enough to force him off. That is so well done. He didn't instantly peek with it. No, he knows that audio cue is enough to force Rubino in a bad scenario. That's not halfway, Rubino. You know this round is all but done for. You might get the kill though. Bullets! Oh my god! Ballista is sick to watch. These guys already are some of my favorite team. They play such a dirty style, but it's so good.
Actually, QXV, you can see it perfectly set up there. Bold, he takes first contact even though he falls, but that entire time, QXV holds onto the showstopper. It's not their first card to show. Waits until he can actually play time on this. And again, we know how often showstoppers get used as a zoning ultimate, right? You hear that sound cue, and you do exactly what Rubino did in that situation. You back away, you hide. And right there in the post plant, that just all plays into QXV's favor. I love that.
I'm so excited by this team. It's been a while since I've got to enjoy, you know, the Polish show in FPS games. Look, if you're old enough, you remember, you know, the golden Counter-Strike team many years ago. A little bit earlier, Virtus Pro, you know, you keep going through these guys set the tone, but we were waiting for that next generation. Apparently, they've come into Valorant and they look super diligent. This should be an easy round, so should have been the last one, but this should be a comfortable one for Ballista. There should be a plan and not too many problems. They've got Sheriffs and Ghosts on the other side. Again, damage done would be pretty good. That'd be all you're looking for, but a little gap in this one. Be able to spot out that spike there. And Heretics now just going to be looking to do some damage maybe on the playback through, see if they can get everyone to the right place through CT. There we go off the back of that. Clearing the corner with the ult finds nothing. Big investment, but Nuki's going to at least find the kill on the force on the swing. So far, not bad from Nuki. Good damage being done.
And a second here, actually. Ballista going to give this up. The flash comes through. Bold swings, doesn't see anything though. He's got the second one set up, and Kareme will find him over here. A fantastic second flash. Morphin going to convert the first and the second. Heretics will fall after a decent opening to that retake, to be honest. Nuki misses the showstopper kill, but finds two with the Sheriff in quick succession. Again, Ballista holds strong, and that time around, I know we just talked about it, but a much more passive, a much deeper hold on the post plant there from Ballista.
And I like that, even if it's just a response to just purely seeing Sheriffs coming out and pistols.
Well, play distance. Play distance, right, versus the pistol.
Exactly. It's a really good kind of approach. And there's something about watching a team that has the balance of structure with the explosive element of their playstyle. I love this so far, and I'm always happy to see new teams. Now, they were almost, not necessarily mindlessly, but consistently trying to fight for that showers control in some of their previous series, at least for Ballista when I've watched them back. That was high on the priority list. So I want to see if they go to it again, and bear in mind, these guys show no fear. with how they go for this. They back themselves. They will always feel like they are the winners in this, and I love that mentality. Hard to keep up when you start losing, but for now that is not a problem. And a different look this time. Keep in mind, they've conditioned these hyper-fast hits, and you can see the defensive team getting a little curious here. You can see Razor's already pushed up over towards A. You have Cypher not too far behind, and this could be another bit of conditioning that they're looking for, is to try and catch them in no man's land, but let's see how it goes. Flashes come through, the initial from the Phoenix, the deeper from the Sky, but Nuki's found two. That's great play from Nuki. Now, this response from him is perfect. Now, last time we said Nisao had to be a big player. This time Nuki is well and truly up for a lull. Holds the more passive angle, but the perfect one to catch that sight cross as Batty G goes down. Nothing more to be done there for him. Heretics well prepared to catch that.
But again, I think that's what the Heretics need to do, right? They allowed the first half of their series against Shakalaka on a scent, kind of really Shakalaka to dictate that pace. And I think right now, especially here on Bind, they need to put the stops on Ballista. They need to get some early territory control, which we know Laul is kind of famed for, right? Yeah. On that stage, again, we see the first example of it here, throwing that showers down, the wall down deep in showers, getting that early control, just putting a stop on that first 20 to 25 seconds of Ballista being able to close the distance towards side.
This time, new look. They haven't given away Omen's position just yet, but he's maybe feeling enough of the pressure to peel away. Initial utility used towards long, so the response comes in from Rubino. Sees one, but not too much more, and it's going to at least draw some utility out. I want to see now how Ballista respond to this. I don't know much about this team. They are still new to us, right? Like, these guys are still very new to at least my eyes. And again, Lothar brought up a great topic. The Heretics aren't going to be able to do so much homework. It's going to be hard to find tape on these boys, and especially with such an explosive style. Their tells, you might say, okay, here comes the hit, but I mean, they're already in your face. Very hard to prepare for. However, that solo anchor that you highlighted earlier of Lowell might be having some trouble coming his way.
That's it, Poor already preemptively rotated here. They're going to give it up for retake initially because it was just Lowell here, so don't quite go. Oh, actually, no. The Hunter's Fury are going to get invested here to stop the plant. Clock ticking away, though. 30 seconds here. Baddy's actually going to find Pora. That's a huge kill before the spike even goes down. Put them in a 4v5.
No 30 seconds left.
So keep your eyes on how aggressive Ballista still stand. This 3-play crossfire set towards kind of lamps here is still pretty aggressively leaning. Maybe contact on towards Batty G and then the swing from the Raze. Let's see how it goes down. That looks as though that's the case. No threat found there. And there are 3 quick kills in succession. And once again, Ballista look very comfortable here. Rubino and Nuki. Nuki's been wonderful in these scenarios. They need Rubino to get a couple here as well. Flash forces him away for a second. Second to follow. And now Batty G going to take the first fight. And look at that man. Sharp as hell. That is a brilliant side take, a well-considered post-plant, and no chance for Heretics. Again, they found that solo anchor, and lol, we've credited him highly for that play that he pulls off, being able to, keep control well of these sides, feel out, okay, when's a fight I can take, when do I need to back away? This time, he did have to back to that retake. There was no chance for him to make much more of an impression, and I'm loving this Phoenix Sky combo. It's so hard to deal with.
I just want to highlight something. The scoreline is 5-2, and Batty G's on his 3rd ultimate. He just got it online once again. He's at 12-6 right now, but it's actually, I know Lothar talked about this a lot. Their playstyle leans into getting ultimates up and online just consistently. And this is a perfect example of it once again.
Omen. They didn't check on him last time. They do. They give it a glance, but not perfect. But I love it again. They're so aware. Okay, Phoenix, you're going to face towards that garden regardless. I will check towards the TP. They have the protocols in place, and they're expecting aggression. They're expecting a flank, but you don't expect a shot like that from Nuki. Sublime aim comes out. Res comes in. So no harm, no foul technically. But that's going to at least kind of create a little bit of an issue. But they have the Seekers to lean on. They have everything they still need to go through this. They hit the brakes. Let's see what they do now.
Batty G perfectly positioned to follow up on first Seeker that actually goes towards spawn, and yes, they anticipate somebody in elbow. The wall goes down also. But now boxed in, Lowell tucked in between spawn door. Actually, Nuki makes his way all the way back over towards A side. Not sure if you retrieved that weapon here. Joke's over. Heretics will hold strong for the time being. There you go. Batty G gonna pop the ult. Aqua actually gonna slow him down initially, and Pora will shut it down.
Okay. Looks like the old... Oh, Nuki. Just winded me. Oh, and lol. Left in a 1v3 now. Previously 1v4. Oh, little sheriff. And look, Heretics look sharp. They've been warming up. You can see the aim is definitely there. But the round, no matter which way you cut it, is going to Ballista. Once again, a reminder for those just tuning in, maybe you haven't watched as much Valorant as the others, maybe you've just become a recent fan. Heretics were the ones who, I guess, still maintained the big crown, technically. Yes, since then there have been others to rise to the occasion, but technically Heretics were the one to do it in the big scenario. Now, yes, roster change, this and that, style change, the scene has evolved in such a short time. Welcome to Valorant. But these guys were the bar to look to, and right now, they are being bullied.
Yeah, I mean, it literally it's a mirror image of the first half of Shakalaka on Ascent. Right now, Heretics look unable to really put the stop on any of these all-out aggressive pushes from Ballista. QXV now going to pop the showstopper. Again, where we see it, the zoning ult, low backs all the way up. Nuki will find a kill on the flank. That's a very quick flank, actually. Find a morphle all the way here. Baddy going to pop through, though, finds a kill onto triple. Bold finds a second, low will fall.
I mean, and they're not stopping. They continue this pressure. This is something you cannot ignore with them. They give you no space at all, smothering you from the start. Now, Nuki has been great at doing what he can, but the conversions to rounds, he's still in a 2v4 here. Over by his side, starts to make some sort of presence and some sort of progress, but the crossfires are sublime. This is... Joe, I'm going to say this, and people may hate me for this, but... This is when people talk about, you know, the NA style, EU style, when we talk about highly explosive teams, Ballista play a, I guess, compositionally comparable style to NA to a degree. The kind of explosive Phoenix coming in here, a little bit more contact base, hyper-aggressive. If EU is not used to this style by the time you get to international tournaments and they don't have an answer, I don't even want to theory craft it. I don't even want to go down that route, but you have to find the answer to this, and right now Heretics are not having the answer. Last time, they did beat a similar team in Shakalaka by meeting fire with fire, right? You threw Nisao at it and went, right, go kill. But here, they don't have him to play with.
No, and to be fair to Nuki, yes, he picks up that flank, but the immediate response from Ballista, as soon as that kill comes through, and again, the 50-50 in that post-plant scenario is, can we push deeper? You know, are we going to over-invest in this? And right there, as soon as that kill comes through on the flank, they know that actually, you know, Nuki, potentially the duelist, for example, is not going to be there to protect that push. So straight away, Baddy and Bald, they come through and they capitalize. They find another kill as well. Once again, trying to push through. Baddy is just on point, man. Was it like 15
I'm getting that
now?
Crosshair. I'm getting everything,
shampoo,
the config,
the
mouse pad. Yeah, honestly, it's. Can I just get a list of everything? Like, I want to lie to myself and tell me I will become like this. That guy is making Phoenix look incredibly viable for one, and his aim is so sharp. I mean, this guy is crisp. He's entry fragging, but then also, of course, staying alive to the post plant because no one can deal with him, and still doing damage. This is the insanity. Now, we will start discussing how do you deal with this? How do you get around this? Because we've seen, yes, Nuki's kind of quick flanks have certainly helped matters, but it hasn't really dealt with these all-in hits, and I can't wait for the devs to theorize how you handle this. There are ways, there are means. The op is certainly one of them, but I'm not seeing it come out just yet. Ultimate now being built up again. Baddy G doesn't need help, he's just farming it from kills. And look at this deep angle. Now, you may check on it, but you ain't got the gun to deal with it. This is so well considered by Ballista.
Really is, and three remaining. So Heretics, you can see Rubino just behind, trying to crack the wall. Again, maybe just look for a kill or something on the way out here, do some economy damage, but QX3 will clean him up. Lol all the way back in market, but you make a really interesting point there. Nuki would usually be the one for Heretics that picks up that operator, but right now the scoreline 7-2, they have an absolute stranglehold in terms of the economy.
Yep.
Ballista, I mean, so there's no possibility to even get that out. They need to get, you know, 2 or 3 clean rounds in succession to be able to do that.
And that's under such a conditional factor that you're in the right place at the right time. These guys are hard to read because they're so quick. I mean, you can gamble stack it, sure. They have very few tells. They have some, but it's not easy. And again, their pressure is unrelenting. I'd love to see a more well-rounded op against them, someone who is willing to maybe either go aggressive, which is crazy, like obviously like running in there if you got to back yourself. I'd love to see that. It's hard to, you're not, utility is not stopping them. We've not seen Lol able to slow these guys down. We are not seeing Rubino really get around them even with that early information. The blinds aren't slowing them down themselves either. This comp just doesn't seem as though it's quite strong enough in any aspect. Let's see how this works out though, because so far they're not quite to site, but they're now on site. Smokes are in place. Nothing has hindered their approach. Yes, Batty took a touch of damage, but now of course healed up. He'll be just fine. And now Spike to be planted. Not just yet. Had to kind of peel themselves away. We're seeing ultimates being invested.
Hunter's Fury once again from Rubino all the way back in spawn. Over will convert that onto QXV and Lamps. Again, get the spike down pretty clean here. Find themselves, actually I was going to say 4v5, but Lowell finds a second. Bold will fall. Batty G now going to try and contest inside. And actually it catches Avova with a smoke in hand.
Who expects someone to push in the slow? I mean, Batty G's going to be there. That smoke's going to dissipate soon. Okay, this post plant's tricky. They need to maybe take some space. It looks like Batty G wants to get that for them. But the trade comes out effectively and Batty G is dead. Just Morphin left alive. No way to get around it here. Spike has plenty of time on it. Diffuse comes out. And they were unable to make that similar stand towards Lamps. They were unable to take that space in the post plant they were given before. By the time Batty G tried to make that play, his HP was already so low after that little bit of a scuffle he had earlier with the Omen. Even though I liked that play, pushing in to that after hearing just a couple of audio cues here and there. I still like this play, but there's the answer, a good retake. Now, that gets tricky. Again, none of these are easy answers, right? Like, a good retake is hard to pull off because that was a slightly changed up post plant. It felt like they didn't have as much Lamps control that time around.
And the thing is, my worry is, you know, if Heretics do revert to kind of just playing so deep that they're committing to the retake, you give Ballista that space and they get the spike down clean and you don't contest, they will push. They will keep pushing. So it's not even really a definitive win condition for them once again.
Well, they're fighting this.
Yeah.
First time we're seeing the fight on it, and it's just a mad spray. If Over lands it on Batty G, you'll take that every day of the week, but Bold now has to check again. It's so sharp, and now the Seekers come out. There's no way that the Nuki gets away from it. That was just relentless aggression again, taking over B-Long off the back of Bold's utility work being perfect. It did.
The last one didn't get destroyed. It actually reveals Pora's position again. Not going to matter too much. Lowell going to rejoin him now over towards Elbow. And this wall down, it's going to eat up so much time. The Heretics are going to try and break it initially. That's a 4v2 for Ballista here.
One enemy remaining.
This ain't slipping. Lol can put up some numbers, but the trades are always going to be effective. 9-3. This has been a lesson. I think this is very much, hey, Polish teams are very much on the map. There's no two ways about this. I will not have it any other way. These are not one-trick ponies. They have a very well-versed playstyle, and it's something that Europe is not used to. Now, something to be said, though, does it get tricky to make this playstyle work on the defensive side? Technically, sure. You can talk through it. It's very easy to be hyper-aggressive on this, but does that then translate easily to a defensive side? Well, we're going to find out. This is where it's not so well-rounded. I feel like Heretics plays that more well-rounded composition. It has a little bit more flexibility to it. However, you've got to have a plan in mind, right? Get proactive, I guess, is the answer.
Well, the big problem is, I mean, Heretics look best when they have that widespread default, very slow information gathering. It's very progressive. Now, Ballista, if they keep the pace up, oh, look at this. They're actually going to push all the way through the TP outside showers. Still 2 players remain on B site here. Heretics might lean into this a little too hard.
Avova's in a weird position. Bold and Avova just kind of trading out kills there, but Avova has taken control. Morphin's alone, but the fast flank's now going to lose its form. But Morphin's aim is sharp as well. These boys have been putting in their hours, but Nuki still always deadly, still a threat. Now that fast flank couldn't come through. They've had to go around the long way. Heretics take side control of the back of Nuki, and they needed a player to step up, and it might just be Nuki, but Batty G's still alive. You don't go around without saying this man's name, but Pora beats him to the punch. Now Spike will go down, but the round is there's any which way you cut this, and it came down to a 1v1 after having basically a 4v2 on the site, still effectively held by Morphin.
On the money.
Picking up the first kill. And again, the second here, Nuki just not in a position to trade that one out. And as soon as that first kill comes in, no real. And again, I think, like I said, Heretics played into that a little bit. I mean, it's Avova kind of just charging towards elbow, then Lau's, you know, solo challenging from Octagon, Nuki's boombotting and Hooker. It's just a really disjointed push there on the back of, I think they were saying they're all TP'd, they're going to push showers.
Yep.
Just a really, really weird look from Heretics.
But also good work from Pora to be diligent enough to keep that cam in the right place, check on it, still make sure that that flank came to nothing. That's the value of having a good Cypher, at least, is that map control. So that worked out well for them. We see that kind of roaming hit squad of, you know, the Phoenix, the Rays, and Sky kind of peeling away from that A pressure, went for early information, sees nothing, backs away, still showing presence by throwing down Sky's utility, but they're going to stack out towards B. Now, again, the buy should be substantially better for Heretics, but it doesn't mean there's not danger, and Nuki's got to play this one a little cautiously to an extent, because this is a problem. No one checked on Morphan, who's once again tucked in that corner. Yes, he gets found by Pora, but it is still a 2v3 on the site itself. You did have Sky leaning this way, but seems to have doubled back towards A now.
Gonna try and wait out QXV inside Tube here, but I'm gonna say Rubino actually potentially giving him a 1v1. He will win out. ADG now in elbow. Bold making his way back through the defensive spawn. A difficult retake here. ADG has got his hands on a Spectre. See what he can get done here.
They've got both of their flashes still up. There's one. Oh, that was one player blind. Rubino's still okay. Batty G on the swing, but takes damage, 21 HP for the spam. No, lol. We'll keep this safe. But there was a threat there, and that was very little coming back out on the other side.
The Heretics will host their 5th now, and see with the investment in the previous round, they're gonna chuck a few sheriffs at this. A Bucky for good measure, obviously. Why wouldn't you? Right here, I mean, this again, this one you got to argue is probably going to play out the same way in Ballista's eyes, right? It's a similar sort of scrappy investment here, and they can play it the same. And the one thing you notice about Ballista is it doesn't matter what weapons they've got, they will still look for early round control. They don't sit back, they don't wait for a team to play in to close the distance. They like to take this early control.
And once again, they will fight tooth and nail to maintain this shower control. They've shown early presence, going to fall away from this. They spotted out at least presence towards the backside of things, and we're seeing a very slow default from Heretics, which I like. I think it's probably the best thing to do against this side, is try and cross, you know, cross the T's, dot the I's, and create a safety net. Now, timing could be a factor. Looking at Hookah, I'm seeing Sage and I'm seeing Brim. I don't know if they're going to go for an aggressive play if they get the feeling or receive contact on A, but they might be on a fast rotate. Bold. Going to be at least forced away from that angle. You can see Batty G tucking himself in the corner. That might be a one and done, but no, he's actually taking the aggressive fight. That's an information reveal, and Bold does get one. This once again is trading effectively for Heretics. They are keeping things moving in the right direction. Yes, there is still a raise here, no ult to be seen, and just the Sheriff to play with.
Back here, actually. To the shock dart, yeah. Going to give away information there. Obviously, QX3 is being held. Right, coming in from Morphin. I mean, actually, he's going to have a hell of a job here to make this Bucky work. I guess Nuki is potentially close enough to get a reasonable amount of damage. We know this thing can do... actually, yeah, down to 25. He's pretty nearly landed that one. But
gun here.
The weapon's just too strong.
Go. Heretics well stabilized. They've done exactly what has been required of them to stabilize this game. And keeping their cool and their composure is something that we need to keep in check with these players. Because right now, it's very easy to get a little, not necessarily tilted, I think that's the wrong word, but start to feel a little bit of pressure, right? You're in this scenario, you've come out and you've had a team just kind of style on you. Just put you through a clinic in the first half. So they've got to come in, keep this mentality in the correct place, maintain this composure, and just kind of, as said, equal out the scoreline. They've done that well enough. Now, yes, the bonus round should go Ballista's way, but imagine if they convert that. That would be perfect. This is the ideal way for Heretics to instantly get back to this one. But for Ballista, they need to make their impression noted on this side now.
Actually, back of the way for that, I'm not sure if that was just on the back of, you know, hearing 2 or 3 different weapons to spam through that smoke. You've got to be careful. A little bit of pressure showing through the TP as well. And see,
look how deep they're sitting.
Yeah, well, I was going to say they have the orbital strike. BST back on his ultimate once again. See, with Karemi playing that elbow cross, he has the information there, but it looks as if they're poised to make these ultimates count on B side. Oh, but Pora actually slips through. He's going to find that first kill.
Now that's nice. Now, here we go. Cypher going to reveal information. Morphin probably not happy about this. Neither is Batty G. And they can get aggressive. He could just post this and hope for the best. And he finds Batty G. That's excellent. That's another ultimate remove. Sky had hers, but I'm yet to see that come into play. It might be out and about right now. It is. Seekers are going through on this. And a quick play right back in. But Ballista trying to take the fight, but Heretics have the greater numbers. And now a 1v3 ensues. QXV deep towards that CT side. A freebie on Pora. The Tracer Fire gave it away. Absolutely gave it away. And now the smoke might give him a little bit of a lurk here, but it would be two people facing. Time beginning to dwindle. He's got to make his move and make it correctly. In we go. No clean fight. Really well played to Heretics for both of them facing that to ensure that no clean 1v1 would happen.
And again, the switch up there was traditionally... Obviously, Heretics are the masters of walling off elbow and kind of just committing to playing sight and trying to funnel the defending team back in through that defensive spawn doorway. But this time around, I mean, 3 strong. They push all the way into elbow. They don't allow Ballista to set up anything. And again, that's the risk, right? When you play so deep like that, you give up site control. Again, if you don't give any information away, no presence is shown, and they find that elbow kill, as you saw Pora did pretty much instantaneously. Run the risk of allowing the attacking team to do so. Pora going to find kill over towards Showers. Once again, though, like I said, it doesn't matter what Ballista have. They look for that early round control.
Yeah, and for me, I'm glad to see Heretics have done the absolute perfect start for them in this half. They've managed to not only get the bonus round, they've done everything that is necessary. This is perfect for them to build back in, eliminate that kind of, I guess, lead that Ballista definitely had, and that advantage, that even mental game that was very favorable to them. That has kind of instantly been equaled out. Yes, it's a bit of a build back in. Nuki going to give us a little bit of a show. Rubino's there as well. Double facing, almost triple facing on the way in. So once again, this is really nice work from Heretics. There is no clean fight to be had so far.
Last player standing.
The last one will be QXV. The flawless round from Heretics. Again, slow, progressive setup. Pora finds the kill over on one side and immediately they pivot back. That's really where Heretics look best, right? When they're able to find kills from this really, I guess, thin spread setup that they have on pretty much every map. Unless they're going for an all-out site hit, which it looks like they might actually opt for here with 4-man lean over towards B this time around. But Ballista, I mean, their playstyle, it does kind of play into that. Once again, the utility invested early on. Some information outside market. We're actually going to pull back. This is uncharacteristic here. Because I think they only spotted one outside there, Lauren. This is interesting. Yeah. It was only Nuki there.
Deploying drone.
Again, falling all the way back towards Tube. They aren't posted up at all. They've sat super deep on this. As said, and this clear from Rubino basically takes away all of that early posturing that they had. Yes, Nuki might have to clear a little longer. It might slow it down by like another 10 seconds. But other than that, this is a very passive default hold, and that op's still towards A. They've not gone for any bigger info. Again, I'm not sure what the plan is on this round, but sight is 100% Heretics. There is no fight even to begin with on here. Lol gets the deeper wall as well, gets quickly taken away. Spamming on towards the side, but receives more damage, down to 50 HP now. So, once again, this retake better be well considered, and it's all just from CT and kind of the bend on this. I'm not sure what the plan is here.
You have the showstopper and the orbital strike, but actually, yeah, showstopper will get invested, but Pora immediately shuts it down. A 2-for-1 trade, 3-for-1 now, 4-for-1. Avova finds another. Last man standing will be Karemi, and yeah, I'm absolutely with you. To have the operator invested there, sat in heaven, and have two people essentially not fact-finding, doing nothing. There was no movement whatsoever on A. They were stuck rigid in that setup, and like I said, the lean was so heavy towards B. I was super surprised at that early information. Ballista didn't act upon it at all. There was no rotation that came out. They just backed up and played so deep on B site.
And that's where I'm with you. I'm absolutely all for that early little investigation play between, I think it was Sky and Raze, who went for that little look through hookah. But if then they kind of leaned over Morphan off the back of even just a little bit of pressure, they heard the Aldrone on long, I'd have liked to have seen a bit more of a response. To be fair, that was an all-in piece from Heretics when we have been seeing those defaults, I guess. And maybe that's what they've read into. But it looks like a timeout has come in. I believe this is for Ballista. I imagine this is... I'd say it's tactical, but I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully we get confirmation on that, just to double check. But, again, if you see so many indicators that it's going to be a site hit, if you don't respect it, you're going to be put in that situation, right? Like, if you don't lean over your op player, if you don't have a little bit of freedom in that, you're going to get stumped. And right now, I think we are seeing a little bit of an issue with Ballista here. We've seen that they have the perfect attack. I mean, I've not seen someone look so devastating in a while, but Nuki has the perfect read here. This is the brilliance of a default. They should be able to catch a fair amount of this. Yep, there we go. Nuki, brilliant positioning, and there's still Pora here. Don't know if they got a gun away from that.
You will not kill my ally.
Oh, actually going to get Nuki straight back on his feet, so all that hard work for nothing, essentially. They still find themselves in a 3v5. Right here, again, just... this is Heretics just anticipating, right? They know that this early round control is going to be on Ballista's radar. They're set up fantastically for it once again. And the thing is, it's a couple of different variations to the default from Heretics that they're able to prioritize one position, one main. This time around, it finds them 2 kills. Again, we see it on other maps. Ballista happy to stack 5 up and push on defense at 5.
We'll find this one. Pora, that is... I think a gun recovered. It might be taken out of his hand. I think it will be. Let's see if he can keep this rifle. He is being worked on right now. And yeah, gun gone. Double digits for Heretics. They have stabilized. They have, combat medic just got themselves at least stable. Now, 10 rounds is excellent, and the way they've been doing it's impressive. Nuki's been wonderful in this half, but everyone has been doing their job. That default that we've accredited Heretics with this before, the likes of beating G2 with this, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
They are very good at catching these aggressive teams on the switch, and they're very aware of how to play against proactive defensive teams. I think it's something that is a huge skill with them. So, once again, Ballista, I think you have to turn it up to 10 if you want to do this, but you start feeling under the gun when you're doing it now at a deficit. So, let's see how this works out.
A heavy lean for Ballista here. Over going to find Batty G creeping down long. All goes up. They're going to invest a res there. I'd see nothing to punish that. Nuki's on the other side of the map with the showstopper, so would have been the only possibility to do. But now Ballista, look at it, swing back over towards A. Morphan going to find a Vova in market. That's a big kill for them, but that's going to force Heretics to pretty much commit here. The Seekers come through, going to give all the information across.
They've invested heavily into this round, though, and here come the other investments on the other side. At least gets one as he goes down, but LoL finding QXV, not saying XQC is super difficult, by the way, has actually been incredibly important. It keeps a big advantage, or at least maybe a value to this round going on. You can see Heretics, okay, get moving. Now, Batty G, he's not backing away from anything. Using the ultimate's going to reveal a whole lot of information. LoL is there, Spike is planted. It's bought them a little bit of time. Now, Morphan can clear through hookah and say, no one is here. Might be able to get a good look towards site, and then, again, process of elimination. They've got to be dedicated either towards, insight itself, or maybe towards long, but they've got to get clearing, and pretty darn fast.
There you can see, actually, and so they still have the wall. Actually, the first shock dart going to do a little bit of damage, but it doesn't follow up, and they got the half already, Lauren.
They've got to pressure something, though. They've got to get moving. They've got to take a gamble and take one of these 2 fights. Otherwise, they lose this. And you can see Batty G is trying to do that desperately. But no, LoL's denied it all. Morphan finally comes out, but I think time is gone. He's going to sit on this one. Where's Rubino? Where's Rubino? He just about comes around. He gets the round for Heretics, but that was far too close.
Yeah, not sure if Morphan knew he still had his molly there. He could have...
He had his molly?
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not a guaranteed kill, but at least it...
You can cut off or force the fight to be unfavorable.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he maybe had... I mean, it's under 2 seconds to throw that down, take the 1v1, and then still stick. Yes, the half came through. I couldn't actually hear the spike ticking away and what stage it was at, but I can't help but feel maybe should have invested that there.
I mean... at that point you had you've got to gamble as to where the positions would be, sure. So you might as well go for it. And fast flash on the swing. Nuki's having none of it. Nuki has elevated his game right now. Heretics are looking sharp here. This is a really good performance from them. And their ability just to come in and play to their own skill level, not dip down, not get nervous, not look flustered after the half. They've come in and done exactly what was required. And those very all-encompassing defaults that we talk about and those heavy leans once they get that information is paying dividends and then some. So for now, Heretics going through the motions. They've got the initial pick. They've taken a second. They've paused for thought. I want to see what that Cypher gets up to. I'm kind of interested to see what Pora is going to do with this. Maybe just try and find some fact-finding or just ensure that no one goes walkabouts for free info. Maybe even just a good lurk, who knows. But for now, as I said, time dwindling, just going to apply the pressure. Does go down, so that could be almost a misread of information. Or they're like, okay, well, we know it's Pora. The sight hit's going to be towards B, and it definitely is. That's a mistake from Karemi to be wide out in the open, gets caught as the smoke dissipates. Ultimate comes in, buys some time.
30 seconds left.
He managed to stabilize, though. Spike still needs to go down. 25 seconds left on the clock, and Heretics still have total side control here. Nuki just actually a little sniff towards spawn there. There's a little bit of damage. See, they come through and contest this. As the spike goes down, Nuki falls. BallyG will find that kill. QXV finds a second.
Okay, Rubino on the site of Over, where he's going around the world. Over is in such a good position that BallyG expected it for a second. Oh, but Over! And now the 1v1, he's sitting this. He's still sitting this.
No
He's
way.
not got off the defuse. Oh my god, he's actually just sat this one!
Oh my god. It's difficult for Avova because when he finds that second kill there, he assumes that, you know, that's maybe the person that tapped the spike,
sure,
right?
no idea. You're working with such limited information. You're like, okay, there's one, right, second.
It could have been, yeah, with the timing.
Technically, yeah. And even then, you don't expect him to
actually.
sit on it. Surely you don't expect him to sit this.
Oh, I think actually, as QXV, Morphan taps it, QXV sticks it, so yeah, I guess just balls of steel on the side of QXV to hold on to that, and like you said,
5-play stack towards B. They're going aggressive. This is mad play. We've got a 5-play stack from the defensive side towards B, and I say defensive side, they've pushed up pretty far, and now, yes, it's been noted, but look how far away they pushed this team.
What?
I don't...
Okay, well, they still find that kill as well. Baddie gonna find Avova all the way deep on long. Spike's still stuck back in market here, so again, just nothing gained off this.
I know everyone.
Morphan's been found, and this is just a weird round. This is like deathmatch. They are taking fights in the craziest places. Yes, they force some ultimates, but Nuki's taken some space. Now he's got a clean fight. Well, initially had a clean fight towards that CT side. Outdoes Bald every day of the week on this. Now looking like he just wants to take space for his team. He is trailblazing a path to allow that plant to come in. He even finds QXV on this. Nade goes down. This is excellent play from Nuki. Again, I cannot say this enough. You've seen aggression elsewhere. Okay, I'm gonna go take showers, and I'm gonna go take the site for you. Bring that spike. Spike down, there's nothing Karemi can do. Time to just back away from this, honestly. But this will be 12 on the round for Heretics. And you've got to say it, Heretics have been leading this every single way on this half.
Yeah, what a bounce back. And again, it's similar, you know, trend we can accredit to that Shakalaka series, where they were able to just, again, sit back and kind of, I guess, take those feeler rounds, Lauren, where they can kind of anticipate. And I mean, the setup here from Heretics to deal with any sort of aggression from Ballista on their defensive side. And we said it before, right? It takes a lot to convert, you know, playing like this and this agent composition on defense more so. On attack, yes, you can dictate the pace. Yes, you can push in, take those 4v2s, 4v1s. The only thing that really counters you is a stack or, you know, a flank finding massive value. But right here, Ballista struggling. Yeah, struggling to make this work on defense.
And look, this is why you've got to say Heretics are a very well-rounded team. They got absolutely destroyed on the first half. They've come back, and they had the perfect default to counter this. We've already accredited them with the ability to do this in the past, and it's highlighted again against Ballista. This is something that they are categorically some of the best at in Europe, and it's being shown. Ballista, again, a newer team to our eyes. We don't know their level of depth. Once they get countered once their initial style has been answered, what's that next step? We don't know. No one's pushed them to that, at least what we've been watching. Fnatic certainly didn't. So again, we are still very new to what these guys can achieve. So, as it stands, Heretics doing the usual, crossing all the T's, dotting the I's. This is just the perfect play for Heretics to make sure none of that mad, unbridled aggression is going to get anywhere. So for now, this is when the round starts.
This is weird once again, though. They're going to play... The triple stack is on B here, and there's no attempt to find any information early on. It's playing contact with the majority stack here, and it puts a lot of pressure onto QXV and Bold, because if they give up a kill, it's rough to come back from that. And I'm going to pop the Seekers actually on contact on A here. Batty G immediately going to hit the rotate.
Well, Vova giving away the position, the readjustment, but Bold didn't know it. I don't know if QXV wasn't able to translate that quick enough, to relay that information fast enough, but now there's a problem. This is going to be Batty G in the right place at the right time, and he needs one of those big performances we've seen him with before. But QXV goes down, and now Nuki's got his ult. Might just send it at some point. He's got 6 HP, so just maybe clearing heaven through towards CT. Let's see, it is going towards CT. No one on the receiving end. They've got 13 seconds here. It's still a 3v3. Spike is getting planted. Good work from them. But now let's look at these post-plant scenarios. Lol's got one, Nuki's got the other. And it all comes down to Kareme now in a 1v3. He's going to get the first, but there was a res, so it's still a 1v3. And this is map point here. Ult's being popped, another isolated, but Rubino's had enough for the nonsense. Investing the ultimate to close out map 1.
What a roller coaster.